Welcome to the Automotive Blockchain channel, everyone. Hey, this is the Automotive Blockchain channel bus. Get on in. Whether you're new to the channel or this is something you've been watching for a length of time, thank you very much. A love dub goes out from my heart to you. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. All right, so we are going to be going over MOBI. MOBI just released something recently that is called Trusted Trips. And for those of you that are new and you don't even know what MOBI is, MOBI stands for Mobility Open Blockchain Initiative. And it is a consortia of a whole bunch of different companies spread all throughout the world developing standards for the automotive industry as it pertains to mobility and a little bit with electrification, et cetera, et cetera. So here's something they put together and with Trusted Trips. And when I was reading this, I thought to myself, this sounds an awful lot like something else that I just did a video on recently with bloXmove. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into MOBI Trusted Trips. If you want to catch the bloXmove video, go ahead, click the link, do what you need to do, and you can watch that. And just so you know, bloXmove was developed and started by two people that came from Daimler Blockchain. So MOBI Trusted Trips, all right? So what is the MOBI Trusted Trip? A trip is, and this is according to MOBI, a roaming entity's journey from one place to another. It's a journey from one place to another. And what is an entity? It could be a person, a smartphone, an electric vehicle, a battery. And in my head, I'm thinking, is this kind of like an IOTA? Is this an origin trail? Is this a VeChain sort of thing? What is this going on in here? It just kind of reminds me of this. All right. So now there's a lot of companies out there doing this. So the trip is a basic unit of information for monetizing mobility in a service economy for consumers, providers, and infrastructure owners. I repeat, for consumers, providers, and infrastructure owners. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. So let's say, for instance, and let's keep this automotive for a quick second. If you were a person trying to sell your car, and you were, and this is going to be way down into the below the tier 3 level, but if you were a consumer trying to sell your car, and let's say you needed to ship it from one place to another, you may be able to utilize this infrastructure to go for the car carrier in order to get it from point A to point B. Or let's say, for instance, you needed to put your car on one of those rails so that it could get from point A to point B, so that when you go on vacation, you're able to go down there and then get back on your car, but you'd be able to track your vehicle on the train as it's going down. That just kind of gives you the idea of what's doing, of how this could be one way on how this could transpire. All right. So how are they doing this? They're saying, hey, it's going to have some decentralized identifiers, those DIDs, that'll be characterized and asserted uniquely to distinguish a person, business, vehicle, part, or thing. Notice how it says part. That could also mean you're shipping parts from point A to point B. And that could be recall parts. Yes, recalls in the automotive industry, as everybody knows, is something that is becoming more and more important. And I believe, personally, that as more vehicles start to move towards being greater electrified, the recalls are going to go through the roof, in my opinion. I just see it happening. So that being said, it's also going to have ubiety, and ubiety is that unique positions in space and time. So they're basically going to take something and track it at every single point of its journey, and it'll be verified along the way. So MOBI Trusted Trip is the combination of a verified identity and ubiety certified through time. That is the essence of it all. This is going to be a great read for you. Definitely go down and check it out. I'm going to go ahead and read some of the headlines. So how does MOBI community validate and leverage the Trusted Trip? It goes into that and it says an important function of the blockchain DLT. I think more of this is going to be on the distributed ledger technology side versus the blockchain side, but the consortia is to establish alternative trust primitives which serve as public shared infrastructure. Part of this, I think, ocean protocols in here. You know, there's a lot of technology in here. And the reason why I mention this, I encourage all of you, if you have not gone onto the MOBI site, go check out their community partners, all right? I'm just going to click on this real quick. Their community partners is vast, and you're going to be able to see in here a number of different entities, BMW, Blockchain Excel Federation. There's a number of them in here, and you'll be able to recognize a lot of these and seeing where and how this Trusted Trip is coming into play, because these standards that are being put into place were developed by these people of their community. So keep that in mind. So they're looking at third parties. So check this out. How can third parties verify that roaming entity started or completed a trip in a decentralized network? How's it going to be? How's it going to be? I mean, you don't know. Well, here's how it's going to be. Obviously with the digital IDs, and I want to take a moment, check out the video I did too earlier. MOBI just released early this year in January of 2021 some standards as it pertains to vehicle IDs. That's vehicle ID, VIDs, and in there they talk about the vehicle birth certificate. Check the video out. I'll try to put a link down in the bottom in the section there, but you can check that out too. So they're also going to be looking at the physical presence, and that's a verification of the physical presence at points A and B, and where A and B may be geospatially locations, and whether there's little transponders, whatever it's going to be, they're going to be able to track that. The physical movement of that, and also any of the smart contracts, the documents associated with it, for verifying that the documents were created during the transport. This is extremely important when you think about how things are transported along the way. Remember, I gave you that scenario of what if you were just shipping your car, your vehicle, because you wanted to go on holiday or vacation, as we call it here in the United States. You want to go on holiday and go somewhere, and you need to get your vehicle there or your bike there or whatever it is along the way, you'd be able to transport that. So that is something to keep in mind. This is going to be MOBI Trusted Trips, and I wanted to just take a quick moment because I mentioned bloXmove. And for those of you that just kind of want to get an idea of what that's like, check this out, all right? It's very similar. bloXmove, it connects all mobility service providers. This is the service providers from microchip mobility, public transport, rental fleets, to corporate mobility managers with the necessary capabilities like e-payment and ID verification specialists in one ecosystem. Literally, it's basically you click the button and you pay for everything along that transaction that's going to be along that supply chain, or in this case, maybe even the value chain associated with that. In my opinion, bloXmove adds value to the supply chain. That's just my personal opinion. I really think that's going to be what they're doing there. And all of it's going to be on a distributed ledger. So check out bloXmove. Also, check out MOBI Trusted Trips. Two great pieces of technology that are coming out to literally enhance the infrastructure that we're on. And I get it. I understand. Some people may be thinking all sorts of nefarious things that could happen along the way. And I'm here. I'm going to say this. Depending on what country you're in, it could mean the greater levels of monitoring, or I should say remote viewing associated with particular people or entities, etc. I get it. Hey, but that's those countries are sovereign. They're going to do what they're going to do. So that being said, hey, throw your comments down into the section. Let me know what you would think. Hey, if I was going to ship something, what would you ship across seas, around the world, for when you go on vacation holiday, and how would you like to see that tracked? I want to hear your comments in there. Throw it in there, and I look forward to seeing you next time.